Welcome back, everyone. As you can see, I've got a nice big box of happiness. And if you watched my last video, I did a review on a foldable electric bike. But after riding it around for a while, it's great for city and flat roads. But once you start going uphill, it kind of lacks power. Plus, you can't go off-road. And this is the fat tire. So I've got the ZDZA. This is also known as fifth wheel. And I've got the ZA01. Now, I'm gonna unbox this and show you guys around and see how well this thing does compared to my other one. Fat tire, off-road, uphill. This thing should have much more power, so let's get into it. So first thing we're gonna do is pop open the top. And once we pop those staples, we can see its packaging. Now this is quite important because you don't want your electric bike to be messed up. So yeah, they know their packaging, so they put something there because that's right up at the top. So it's got padding, styrofoam as normal to keep everything where it should be. It looks like, I mean, big old zip ties. It looks like everything was packaged very well. Let's get this stuff out of the box. All right, so I unpackaged this. It looks like those are the fenders and the seat. Next up, I'm gonna take up all this stuff. So take off all those, the zip ties, get everything taken apart and out, and then figure out what's in that box. And after taking off all the wraps and everything, this is what we're left with. Basically, everything's in one piece. You have the tire separately, and then in that box, this is what you're gonna get. You're gonna get your charger, toolkit, a quick disconnect, pedals, your little light thing for the back, your reflector, and your user manual. And while we're putting this together, we might as well charge the battery. So we need to take the battery out because when we click this guy, it's empty. Oh darn. It requires a key. The keys initially are right here attached to the bike. And once you get the keys out, we're going to turn it to an unlock. And we're gonna take this off just because we're assembling the bike and this is really heavy, but you can charge this while this is attached over here on the other side. There's the on-off switch, and then of course your plug. So now that we have it unlocked, all we gotta do is grab it and, well, the bike's not really attached to anything, but we lift forward and you'll see it starts to detach here. As we lift it forward, we just take it out. And once we plug it in, we've got plugged into the wall here. You can see it's red. That means it's charging. So while this is charging, let's put together the bike. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we are going to get the front tire installed, but we need to make sure things are in the right position. So the front forks here, this is gonna be facing forward. So you have this facing forward, and you can also see that this is on the, I guess, outside or the front of the bike. Second is down here. This is not actually part of the bike. It's a piece of plastic to help keep things held in. So all you'll do is just take the nuts off both ends, and then you'll take that metal piece out that's holding this piece of plastic in, so we can actually put the tire in between here. So once you get those both out, you'll have this, and we'll slide it all the way through, and that's what it'll look like once you get it out. And now there's nothing holding this piece in, so you can just go ahead and lift up the forks and take this plastic piece out. And there we go, just slid it out. So we've got this plastic piece. Not sure if we'll need those spacers, but I'll keep those handy. So there we go, everything all attached there, and we've got our forks up front. Now we need to grab our tire, and when we grab our tire, you see how one side here has the brake and the other side doesn't. The brake, this side, needs to be on the left side of the bike, like so, because that is where your brake caliper is. All right, here is the bike. And then, as I said, this side does not have the brake caliper. This side does have the caliper, but these little circular doohickeys here, these are just popped in there for shipping and protection. So you can grab these and take those out. So we don't need that. And same thing with this one on this side. There we go. Once we have everything just barely sitting on there, you can see it's just at the very edge up front, and our caliper, you can see, is in between the brake. That's exactly what it should look like. So this is in between this right here. There you go. See how it's in between it? That's where we want it. So in order to lock this into place, we're gonna grab this thing. So this is a quick disconnect. So basically, you've got a little nut on this end. We're going to unscrew the nut here, and we're going to feed it through the hole right here, all the way through, and then we'll tighten it back up. And for whatever reason, if you do like drop this and mess it up, this is how everything looks. This is how it comes connected. And now that you have that mental note, we're going to separate it between these two little metal with the keys. So we're gonna take these apart like that. So these two are gonna come off so we can feed this through. I'm gonna feed it through the right side. So let's take those two off, feed it through like that, and then we'll put these back on the other side. Let me show you what that looks like. So you can see on this side, I've got the quick release, the spring, and the key with that little, the keyed part is right down there in the notch, where when you look on this side, I'm just holding the spring right now, and the key, same thing. You can see the key with the notch is right here in this notch. So we're gonna put that in place. We're gonna put, and not drop it. And then we're gonna put the spring in there, and then we're gonna put the nut on top of that. All right, and we've got everything installed. So right where it was seated before, and we've got the quick release that's fed through to the other side. You can see that's where the nut is. So you're gonna tighten the nut, hand tight, and then on the other side, you're going to grab this and fold it in just exactly like it is like that. It should be really, really snug putting it in. Should be a little difficult. And now everything is one piece. So we've got a front wheel. I can't let go of it because we don't have I do have a kickstand. I just didn't put it down because I'm stupid. That's so much better. And by the way, this thing is huge. This is like a motorcycle. It's massive. All right, now that we have this thing stable, I want to be able to move it around a little bit. And one of the issues I'm having is this guy, the chain. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be off or it just did that in shipping, but I've got to put the chain on. So first off, I need to make sure that this is actually on a gear and not halfway off of a gear. And then I've got to grab it and actually put it up here and thread it through. But if you're unfamiliar with it, you can see I've got everything around here. It goes around one of the, it's actually in between two of them right now because I actually need to get this up and move it. But to get it around here, you're just gonna grab this and you're just gonna release the tension and make this arm straight like this. And it gives you more than enough slack to be able to do that. Then you let go and it tightens itself in. Once you get it on the teeth here, you can, rotate the wheel and it'll adjust itself. You can also jump over here and adjust the gears. So this is all the way down, and if you want to put it up, you can click it up and it will manually move this. All right, getting closer to the end. Pedals, easy. You can see at the tip of the pedal, one says R, one says L. That just says one goes on the right and one goes on the left. Pretty simple. You get it and you turn it. It's pretty cool because it actually says R pedal. So you can't really get it wrong. R goes in R, and tighten it up, and then it's gonna start rotating. Do it on the other side, and then we will get a toolkit, unless you have your own. I'm sure one of these. So you can see 15. 15 is the one that actually, oh, there we go, fits on that one. So we'll get this, hold on to it, and tighten it up. So it's nice and tight on there. Now that's not going anywhere. Now we need to get the handlebars onto here. But the first thing we need to do is rotate this. So you see how the front tire is forward, but this is facing towards, I guess, you if you were on the seat. This needs to be facing this way. So we need to loosen up these, but you're gonna loosen this up so you can take this and rotate it. See how the tire's not moving? And you're gonna rotate this forward. And once you get it facing forward, you're gonna get right over here in front of the bike or in front of the wheel, either way, so you can get a good straight line. So we're gonna pick this up off of its kickstand. We're gonna make it straight. I've already tightened mine down, but you're gonna line this up as even as possible with the frame and make sure the tire is even. So you see in this angle, tire is even with this, which is even with the frame. It's all a straight line. Once you get that, tighten those two screws up and we're good. So this is facing the right direction. Now we're going to take these 4 off so we can get the handlebars and put the handlebars into here. So now we grab the handlebars, swinging them up top, make sure that all of these wires aren't being pinched or routed anywhere that they shouldn't be. You're just gonna take all 4 off, you're gonna put them on here, you're gonna hand tighten them as much as you can until it's nice and snug. And then you're just going to, for the most part, get the handles where you want them in terms of tilt. Now remember, there are other points of adjustment. So for me, I'm making sure the brakes are where I want them, where it's comfortable, because the rest of these things that are on here, you can see they have their own adjustment points. So I can move the screen up and down. I can move this around, I'm pretty sure, I think. Yeah, so these are not adjustable for the brakes, so put it where you want there, and then the other stuff will be adjusted later. So once you get everything nice and snug on here on the back, I just got the included small Allen and got these 2 over here, loosened them up so I could rotate the screen up, because it was like basically straight up and down, and it's not a good look. So it's exactly where I want it. You can rotate it up and down and left and right. Just make sure it's centered. As you can see, it's pretty centered. Maybe not the best, but it's centered. And that's everything you need. We are getting close. It's looking like a bike. It's just missing a seat. So let's put that in. The seat is just a seat. We'll put it down in here, but we have to get this quick release open. Pop the seat down. Of course, it all depends on what height you actually want. It's got numbers on the back over here. So we'll pop that down. No idea where I actually want it to be. And then you'll take this and tighten it. That's pretty loose, so I'll tighten up the screw back here just a little bit until it's, there we go, nice and snug. Next up is fenders. I guess if you want to put them on, but I mean, if you're going off-roading and all weather and whatnot, with these tires, I don't want to be completely drenched or covered in mud. So these are going to help. This one, which is just a single one, this is going to go in the back. So you're going to take this piece off here, just a screw, and then going to take the nut out of this end, thread it through here, and that's all it is. It's going to sit like that. So for the fenders, I've been trying left and right to try to get them to work, and nothing fits perfectly. So you're going to have to probably do a little bit of bending. But the rear one is supposed to have the single, and I put it in like this. If you put it in the other way, it brings it too close, in my opinion. It starts rubbing. Putting it further out is better, and trying to bend this little bracket up as best as you can. That's the best way that I can try to get it to fit. Fenders just don't want to work well. So now we need to get the front. So you can see we've got the short end and the long end. We'll slide the long end under here, and there is a welded on nut on the other end, so we're not gonna need anything back there. It's just gonna thread in, and we grab our super bright LED headlight, and we're going to sandwich it in between the 2 of those, and that's it. Just on the underneath side, we're gonna thread this through. All right, got the front and the rear fenders on, and that's what it looks like. Now in my video, you might see it both ways because I've switched the fenders like 10 times now, trying to get them to work, trying to get them to look better, seeing which one is best. So maybe you put them on, maybe you don't. All right, so we've got 2 things left. One of them is very easy. In the box, you'll get this little guy. I think that goes there. So done. And the only other thing that's left is this reflector. Now, the only reason why I'm not putting this reflector on is it's supposed to go on the seat. However, this thing is a monster, and I don't want the seat to go up. Like, I'm tall, I'm 6 foot, but when I sit on this with the seat all the way down, like, I'm just tiptoeing it on the ground. This thing is very tall. So if you put this on, you're just gonna raise the seat that much more. But if you do want to, then you just undo that screw right there, wrap it around the base of it, and tighten it up. All right, now that we have the bike fully set up, let's get familiar with it before we ride. So when we do want to ride, we're gonna switch this to the on position. That way it will be on when we turn it on. So that's just allowing power to go through. Also up front, you have the forks up here and the suspension. So if you come up here and you are on you actually sit on the bike, like I will right now, I'll sit on it. You can see that there is 2 knobs. There's this one and this one. This one is just a pretty standard lock. So you can see if I'm on here and I sit down, there's the compression. Now, if you don't want that, you turn it over and now it locks. So I sit on the bike, I do as much as I can, it's totally locked. So right now, if I'm here, now it's unlocked and we have our compression. So this is the dampening. So right now I have it turned all the way to the right. It can go probably about like 5 or 10 turns, but the more right you turn it, the stiffer this is gonna be. The more left you turn it, the more comfort you're gonna get. So it's a lot cushier, it goes down a whole lot more. I want more of a stiff ride. That's just what I want. You can put it in the middle. This is a very little adjustment from what I can tell. I measured how much it went down just based on my body weight, and you're really looking at about that much of a difference in the compression. So not a huge deal. All right, and starting up on the handlebars, this is your gear selector. It's a little bit of a weird design. So if I want to go down a gear, I could just click it into whatever gear it'll go. Of course, you need to pedal on the bike so it actually adjusts which gear it's on. But if you want to go up, you've got a button right here that it's not digital, it's just manual. So you go through your gears like that, and that's just how it goes. It's quite strange. And then over here on the left-hand side, we've got 2 buttons over here. We've got this one, which is your light, and it is ridiculously bright. That is phenomenal. Also the horn, it's really, really loud. You probably won't be able to appreciate its holy crap loudness, but if you're on major roads, you'll get dogs that are concerned for your well-being. And then next to it, this is your main controller for this. So you have a plus, a minus, your power button, and then over here on the side, there you go, that's a little bit better. So you've got the illumination on one side and the I button on the top part. So if we want to turn this on, we'll go ahead and hold that power button for a second. It goes through, boom, there we go. So this is your main screen. This is your battery power, how fast you go. This one is just saying what power level you're on. If you want to pedal the bike and use it normally, you're gonna go down and you're gonna be at 0. So regular bike. 1 all the way up to 5, that's just your power levels. So 5 is you hit the throttle over here and this thing goes, it doesn't have low end torque, but it'll go up its fastest at 5. If you go all the way down to 1, we'll test this out, but it goes different intervals. And then down here, you've got trip odometer, your max speed, your average speed, etc. So this stuff resets after each ride, so you turn it off. So you want to hit the I button, and you can go through these. So you can see all the stuff on there, and then it'll just keep going back. Now this, it looks like a little headlight button. It's very confusing because if you hit that, you can change the dimness of your screen. And when you do that, you can see it has a little headlight button, which is kind of strange because when you turn your headlights on, it doesn't turn the headlight button, the illumination thing on. Kind of confusing. Now, if you do want to go into settings, you'll hold the plus and the minus, hold those down, and then you'll be able to go into your settings. And if you want to change it, you hit the info button to go from the top to the bottom. And if you actually want to change something, you can do plus or minus. So this first one, 01P, this first option changes your screen brightness. So if we're on that one and we jump down to the bottom, you basically change its, I guess, default brightness. And then once you're done with that, we'll take it back up to the top. And if we go to 2, this is changing it from miles per hour to kilometers. So if I want to change it to kilometers, I'll go down here and you can see I've changed it to kilometers an hour, and it just goes through the 2. Now there is another screen that you can go to. Again, we'll hold this down And now it comes to this screen. As far as I can tell, this is how you change the speed limiter. And there's a code on the bottom that you need to put in to be able to get to it. I've tried a bunch of standard ones. I think this is just locked from the factory, so you can't get into this unless you know the code, which I don't. But once you're all done, you'll go over here, hold down the I button. It'll reset itself and bring you back to the home screen. There's also something really cool about this. If you want cruise control, this thing has cruise control. So as you're cruising down and you've got the throttle going, whatever mile per hour that you want to stay at, keep that speed, and you're going to hold down the minus button, and it will lock it in after about 3 seconds, and it'll give you a little icon on here with a little bike rider, and you have cruise control until you either hit the brakes or the accelerator again. And that's also another cool thing. If you look down here, you'll see if I touch the brake, it recognizes when it's a brake. So if you're pedaling, so if you're in like 1 and you start pedaling on the bike, it will assist you. It will be a pedal assist. If you want that to stop, you just touch the brakes. You basically just mess with it and it goes, oh, okay, go ahead. All right, so I am outside taking this thing for a spin for the first time out in the neighborhood, and this thing is fast. I just got the top speed up to right at 28.5, but yeah, that's actually kind of scary. I thought I wanted to go faster, but I think 30 miles an hour is kind of tops, at least on a bike, out on the streets, stuff like that. So this has been pretty cool. The shocks are really, really nice. I would say, like, up front, when you're going over bumps and stuff, the front is perfect. However, on the back of the bike, like near the butt over here, there's nothing. So the back part of the bike gets a lot of shock, whereas the front absorbs it all. So the front's good, but your butt is gonna be hurting. So if we start pedaling, I've got it at 5. Let me bring it down to 1. If you start pedaling, see right now it's at 1 and it's not assisting, but if I put it at like 2, it'll start assisting. It goes up to a certain mile per hour. If I put it up to 3, it's gonna be even more powerful and kick in. But if I stop pedaling, it'll stop assisting, and now I'm just gonna coast. And of course, you can always move the throttle just a little bit. We'll get you going. And you can see I'm just scooting along, no problem. This is a little hard for you guys to see, but like I said before, you can just hit the button over there and make it brighter, or go into the settings and do the same thing. But also another really cool thing I showed you guys is you can do cruise control. So I'm gonna hit hold down the minus button. And now if you can see on the screen, I've got that little thing. I'm going downhill now, so it's picking up speed, but it's nice. It won't go below that speed unless I hit the brake or I hit the accelerator to cancel it out. There's also a mode called thrust mode. So I'm not really sure what it's for. So if we activate this thrust mode by holding down on the minus button, it's just gonna constantly give you power. I'm not pedaling right now, but we're at like 2.5 miles an hour. But if I regularly pedal, it's not giving me any extra assistance. I'm just regularly pedaling. It just kind of gives you a little bit of extra oomph. So I wouldn't call it thrust. It's not thrusting me anywhere. It's just keeping me going. I guess if you want help, you're assisting for your start off on your pedal, that's probably what this is for. All right, next we're going to check the big boy's power. So I don't have a whole lot of hills, but there is a hill going up to the house, and it doesn't really look like it until you kind of get up here. You see it's a bit of a slope. So if I back up, you can see it is a bit of a slope. That's kind of all I have, but it will represent this beautifully. So I can start at the bottom, and I've noticed for this, it's much more powerful than my other one, and I'll show you a comparison. So down here at the bottom, this needs speed in order to get up to where you need to go. It doesn't have, I guess, low-end torque, or I guess it's locked from the factory. I'm not really sure what it is. But if I start from here, I can get enough speed to go up, and it's fine. But as I start getting more incline, it won't be able to go anywhere. All right, so I just got on the bike. You can see it's power level 5, so it's
totally maxed out, and I'm just gonna turn the throttle, and you can see exactly what will happen. I get a little bit of oomph, and then it just starts going. But now, me holding the brake, and now I'm further up towards the house, like this is the steepest part, I'm going to let go of this, hit the accelerator, and it just stalls itself out, and it gives up. Let's try again. Oh, almost, and it just won't go anywhere. So I'm gonna try again. Almost, it just gets too steep and it stops. But let's compare this to my other e-bike. So this is 1500 watts and my other one, well, is not. And here is my other e-bike. Now this is more of a little commuter. It can fold up and it's really cool, but it's only 250 watts and it maxes out at maybe 15 miles an hour. The downside of this is it basically has no torque. All right, so we've got our full battery. We're back in our same starting location here, and we press down full throttle. It nothing. It barely even moves itself. This thing has literally no power compared to the other one. I have to go over to flatland. So now we're over here on the driveway, and then I hit it, and it slowly takes off. There is no other way for this thing to actually work off-road or up a hill or anything like that. Even the driveway is slightly sloped, and let's go. Oh, there we go. Now we're moving. Now we're moving. Oh my God. It's just not very powerful. I mean, you can hold it back by just sitting on it and, you know, just putting your foot forward. This is a very weak bike that will get you up to speed, but you actually have to be going. Like, you actually have to be on the road, cruise around for it to work. All right, so now we're gonna do a drag race between my original e-bike and the Monster. It's quite a big difference. And just because this beautiful woman brought it up, we're gonna do a horn test. Okay, 1. Oh yeah, all right. And for mine, Jesus fucking Christ. I'm deaf now. All right, we're lined up head to head. She's on the little one. She's got the advantage for weight, and we're gonna do electric only. So I'm gonna put myself on max because I can. She is on max too, but that's pedal assist, which I figured out on that video. So electric only, no pushing, no pedaling. You got it?
Got it.
All right, you ready? Ready, set, go. Oh wow, the weight difference. Oh, that's nothing. That's not, she's got nothing. I should probably look where I'm going. Woo! All right, you guys saw me unbox it, put it together, test it out, go through all the features, and compare it against a standard foldable little e-bike. This thing is amazing, and it's way better than the one that I have. It's faster, it can go off-road, it's got more power. It would be really cool if it had more low-end torque to really kind of like get you off of a hill, but it's I guess more horsepower than torque. It's really cool that you can take the battery pack out, which is absolutely amazing. The interface is really easy. I would really like to have something in the back because the front has the shocks and they're really, really good. But when you start going over stuff, your butt's gonna be hurting. So it'd be cool to have something in the back, some sort of spring to help there. But other than that, this thing's great. It's fast and it's so much fun. So if you guys want one, go ahead, look down below in the description, and I hope you guys enjoyed.